I don't know about you, but I absolutely love the sound of a acoustic guitar tuned to D standard because that's what I'm in right now. It just sounds so much more warmer and nice, and I don't know. I enjoy it. Weird intro, right? Welcome everybody to episode 19 of the ForbiddenCast. It pleases me to have you here joining me on this wonderful, wonderful journey that we have. Uh, I don't know where I was going with that, but it doesn't matter. It's Friday, and I hope you're all having a good day. I am well. Thank you for asking. If you were asking, um, uh, yeah. So today, what is today's topic? I don't know, but um, I do have a couple things to say, and we'll get to them. So, first off, holy crap, April dropped a whole lot of music onto me, anyways. Because April 30th, the very last day of this year's April, I got another new single from another one of my favorite bands, a little band called Trendkill from the UK. They dropped a brand new single called Obsession, and it is fantastic. It has like a nice cold opening with some nice, almost like kind of neoclassical, just pretty kind of acoustic guitar, and then it goes all over the place. And it's, yeah, their new singer. I'm not too sure what his name is actually, but he's killing it on vocals. He's doing a really, really good job. Trendkill has released two singles thus far. Their first one being "Struck from Existence," which is a song about how kind of machinery is slowly taking over the human race. Because I mean, think about it. We all have basically a supercomputer in our pockets, and we take it for granted every day, i.e., iPhones and other, smartphone devices. Like literally, we have the access to the internet. It hits touch screen. We can slide it up and down. We can communicate through these things, and it is beyond baffling whenever you actually like take a minute to actually stop and think about it. That we have these tiny little things that we think are just everyday, like it should just be an everyday useful tool that have slowly become extensions of our lives, because whenever you think about it, everybody's got a phone nowadays. It doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, I see kids nowadays with iPhones. Whether or not they actually have data or a data plan or whatever, they have some sort of you know device that is way more intelligent and upgraded to the max compared to like the first, like even a computer in the 80s. Like has way more technology implemented into these things, and it's insane. Like, how did it go from like literally an entire room for like a computer to do simple math projects, and then now you can literally have a device that can send messages, pick up phone calls, access the internet, store music and other files, be touchscreen, take picture, also as a camera. Did I mention that already? I don't know, but like, it's insane. And yeah, and I feel like we really take that for granted. Granted? No, not granted. Granted. That's the word I'm looking for. Um, but yeah. Anyways, that's my old man talk for today. But yeah. Um, what else did I want to talk about? But anyways, yeah, no, that's all right. That's how I got sidetracked. I was talking about "Struck from Existence" from Trendkill, but no, their new single "Obsession" is really, really cool, and I'm going to say it right now that should be the song you should check out today for this week's music recommendation, because it kicks ass. It's a really really cool song. Um, it does like that whole kind of like softer kind of pretty guitar stuff, and then with some clean vocals, and then like the chorus bit jumps into like the heavier vocals with the heavier chords, and then it smashes you in the face with like a super cool bridge that goes really really heavy, and then it ends off with like a huge guitar like compilation of guitar solos from Johnny Stern. I think that's Johnny Stern. I'm not sure what his last name is, but I know his first name is Johnny. um, but yeah, definitely go check out Trendkill's new single, because it blows my mind. Every time those guys release something, it blows my mind. It's always super influential. They're one of my biggest influences for metal music, anyways. Like for Forbidden Messiah stuff, huge influence. You know they're guys all around my age, maybe a little bit older, and yeah, like they write really really good music. Um, they don't have a full album out yet, but they have quite a few singles. They have now they have 3 singles, and I think and 2 EPs. The first EP, the first Trendkill EP, only had 3 songs on it, and then they released 2 singles. They released um, "Pull the Plug," which is a fantastic song, and I love that song to pieces. I listened to it so many times. If it was on cassette, it would have been worn out by now, I'd imagine. And then they also released their song "Asylum," which was my very first song that I listened by Trendkill. And that's another song that if it was on cassette, I would have worn it completely out. You wouldn't be able to hear anything off of the tape. But yeah, so they released those 2, and then they released their Black Moon EP, which is also fantastic. That one there had a few more songs on it. They re-recorded Asylum, which is a really really good song, and then they slam me in the face with a whole bunch of new songs, and they ended the EP with a song called "The Host," which was at the time one of my favorite songs, but Obsession might have put that song down to number 2 now. But yeah, really really good stuff, and I highly recommend checking out Trendkill. So yeah, but that's not all I wanted to talk about today, because I know the last few episodes I talked about music quite a bit and everything that's been coming out. But yeah, no, as some of you may or may not know, if you've watched, what episode was that? I don't know, but the title episode is "In the Wild," I think. But if you go check out that episode of the Forbidden Cast, I do like a little video as I walk through, just like one of my favorite kind of like little safe places, like a happy little place that I like to go to whenever I'm back home at my parents' place. Um, and I say, that I love nature and all that. And last weekend I had the opportunity to take my girlfriend on a little nature walk. I don't even remember what the lake was called or what the trails were called, but it is in Quebec, and it was really really nice. It was really really pretty. It was a nice, really nice sunny day, and it was really cool because I'll put up some pictures if I hopefully don't forget to. But yeah, it used to be like owned by some dude. I don't remember what the dude's name is. They had like little tapestries where you can read all about it, but there's like some ruins of where the dude used to live, because I think he was, I honestly can't remember anything that he did, but he was some sort of scientist looking for new ways to develop Earth or something like that. I really really just like to make better mulch and everything, and so like he basically went and secluded himself out in the woods by himself to just go study stuff, and he built this huge house, which I'll hopefully remember to put up the pictures here, because I did take a few pictures. Apologies if there's people on it, and if you're one of those people listening to this right now, I apologize. If you got stuck in my picture. But my GoPro has a very, very wide lens on it, surprisingly for how tiny the GoPros are. Yeah, and it's really, really cool. And there's like almost like a dam looking thing that like, yeah, I don't know. It's really, really cool. I didn't read too much into the tapestries and whatnot. I was just more fascinated with the ruins and how beautiful everything was, because it's been a while since I've been able to take a nice little nature walk. And there's a really pretty little lake nearby on the same trails that the little river runs to. So it's really, really cool. I really wish I remembered the name of the lake and everything, so that, if you are nearby or want to make a trip to go check something cool out, I could have told you that, but unfortunately, I don't remember what it's called at all. Maybe I actually still have it in my phone. I'll check. Hold on, just in case. Hopefully I don't have to go digging too far in for it, because my girlfriend sent it to me over text before. Here we go. Let's see if I can remember. Wilson Ruins and Meech Lake Falls. That's where we went. Really, really cool place. If you live in the vicinity or around, or if if you're going this summer, if you're going on like little like camping. I don't think you can camp here, but like if you're going camping around in Ontario and Quebec, and you want a cool place to go check out, I would highly recommend checking this out. Wilson Ruins and Meech Lake. Meech being spelled Meech, Lake Falls. So yeah, that's cool, and hopefully I do remember to put up the pictures that I took, because I thought it was really, really neat. And yeah, just something, but it is weird too, because looking like, I don't think I got any real. Maybe I did. I don't remember. I haven't looked at the pictures in a while. But like, there's a very like eerie feel. Like, there's something about ruins that give off like a very eerie kind of aura to it. Like, even if nothing really bad happened to it, and it's just like over time, like the wood started to decay or whatever the situation was for it to become ruins. There's always like a slightly eerie, creepy essence to ruins that like just kind of makes me feel unsettled for some reason. Like, I'm not one to really believe in ghosts or any of that sort of shit, but like, I don't know, there's just something slightly off-putting about seeing ruins, seeing something, because for the most part I'm so used to just seeing like brand new buildings and everything like that, or like even like houses that are starting to look run down but like are still the habitable, if that's how do you properly use that word, or pronounce that word, I should say. Yeah, I don't know, there's just something really eerie about it, I find, anyways. I don't know, like, it's still cool, like I'm not scared about it, but it's just kind of like there's a very unsettling sort of vibe to it. But really cool place. Really, really cool. I'd love to go check out more places and lakes around Gatineau and in Ottawa, and just in general. And I mean, just all around, because that's what I enjoy. But other than that, not too much exciting things going on. Mr. Trey Xavier from GearGods is, for anybody who knows what that is, it's a YouTube channel, and Trey Xavier is the one who runs that channel. He's a very funny dude. He knows a lot about writing music, and seems like he knows quite a bit about some theory and whatnot. And yeah, he seems like a cool guy. He's also Canadian, I believe. I think so, anyways. But yeah, he's putting on a contest because he reached 200,000 subscribers, which is, I feel like any YouTuber's kind of dream goal. I mean, obviously to always keep going upwards, but yeah, so that's I'm happy for him. Good for him. I happen to be one of those 2000K subscribers, and so should you should also be. Um, but yeah, he's putting on a contest right now, a songwriting contest to win a Rev Generator amplifier head. Um, I think I'm not exactly sure how much they cost, but I know they are pretty close to being nearly 2 grand. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty generous considering all you got to do is write a song. But with that said, easier said than done because I wanted to because I wasn't formally um, well, prior to this contest, I wasn't subscribed to his channel. I will admit. But the more I've been watching his videos of him like listening to people's songs and like contest entries, the more I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy's pretty funny and cool, and then that got me watching more of his videos, and then that's what was like, oh, I'll subscribe to his channel, and then I was like, well, maybe why not try to enter his contest. Um, I think this week here is the last week that he is accepting entries before he finally announces like a winner. But unfortunately, thus far, the entries haven't been super great because a lot of the entries have just been like guitar riffs with drums and not a whole lot of song going on. Um, so which I mean I can understand for some people, like that might be a song, but like for the most part, people who are listening to it, cool, they have cool guitar riffs, but then you need to layer it. Like the cool guitar riffs should have a melody line going on top of it, or like do the cool guitar riffs, have a part with melodies, and then to make it more interesting, bring back the guitar riff but change the drums, and then bring back the cool melody part again, but then add a harmony or do something different, or add a clean bit. If it's all just super heavy parts, do the melody line again, but with a clean guitar with pretty clean chords going on with light drums or no drums at all or something. Make it interesting, especially if it's going to be instrumental. Like that's the thing that I always try to go for whenever I'm writing my Celestial Quest stuff, because that stuff is all instrumental. It's like constantly be feeding the listener something new and interesting, so that whenever they're listening they don't get bored, but don't make it so convoluted and bring like so many new song changes and whatnot. Like expand the ideas that you already have to their full potential throughout the song, and then on top of that, just still add in a little bit of surprise here and there, so it's not totally boring. It's something that I try to do, but because I mean, it's going to sound like I'm making excuses, and I totally am, but I did want to enter this contest. But unfortunately for me, because all of this is going down in the same period of time where I'm still trying to write like all the extra parts, and still working on my Celestial Quest album, that I'm just so zoned in and focused on that trying to write anything else besides that is just nearly next to impossible. And especially for like a contest or something like that, because whenever I'm told to write a song is whenever I get writer's block. I find it's whenever I start to be like, okay, I got a cool guitar riff, but then I get so lost and I just don't have any idea where the hell to bring the song to, or it's like I come up with something cool, and then it's just like like if I do something cool like it's like, okay, where do I go from that, like or if I do like so it's like, okay, cool, so like I could have like drums fade into that or something, and then I can add, I don't know, like a like another guitar harmonizing with the is that a added ninth? I think so. I'm not entirely sure. Do that and then add in the I don't know. I'm just kind of like making nonsense up right now, but like, I could do that and then, write something kind of mediocre and then enter the contest, or, I could just not enter the contest and then, let poor Trey not have his, brain melt because he has to listen to a whole bunch of shitty entries and then pick someone who's actually really deserving of the amp when, I can just keep working on my own music and everything like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's an excuse. Maybe it's just me trying to convince myself that, I don't want, my feelings to get hurt if he doesn't like my song entry. Probably. And also just, laziness on my behalf. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I still got 2 days before it's too late to enter the contest. But at the same time, too, like, I really don't want to just shit something out last minute, send it in, and have him be like, no, this shit. I'd rather have had spent time to actually make something cool. Because there has been times where like I'm just so inspired by something. Like one of the songs off of the second Celestial Quest album, I basically wrote all in a day. Because I was just super inspired by the new by the new Tupperware Remix Party album, our Twerp. Specifically the song "Coming at You," the opening song. I was just extremely just influenced by that song, and the song that I'm talking about off of the Celestial Quest album is extremely inspired by that one song. I love the groove of that song and everything going on in that song. It's just really, really cool. And like, yeah, and so like this song, which did I title it already? I think I'll call it Laser Dragon or something like that as the working title. Maybe it'll stick. I don't know. We'll see whenever the album is actually done. But yeah, so like right there is a prime example of like I can do something in one day and write something cool and do something cool in one day, but at the same time, when I'm not feeling very inspired and I'm already so focused on something else, I don't know, it's kind of tough. It's a weird line. Like, imagine, I don't know, explaining how like what it feels like to be creative, because I feel like it's different for everybody. But like for me, it's like sometimes I'll pick up a guitar and nothing will come to me. Like I can sit around, play it for hours, and just nothing feels, cool or whatever. Because like that's typically how I play, how I write music. I just kind of sit down, practice some scales or something like that. And that's another thing too. I haven't like actually practiced guitar. I've just been playing my songs lately. I haven't really been, practicing scales or going through, just the really boring motions of just, or even just doing. I haven't been doing any of that. I've just been riffing and playing my songs and trying to come up with extra cool bits to my songs. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of what I just said there was a lot of repetition, and I apologize. I seem to do that a lot because I get, especially right now, because I'm still holding my guitar. I've been holding my guitar through this entire episode because, of course, I decided to do a cool little intro there for everybody, and then didn't think that that my guitar stand is all the way over there. But yeah, see there, I just got distracted again. I totally forgot what I was even talking about. Cool. To be fair, before everybody's just like, goodness me, this boy needs something for his memory. Um, it's not my memory. It's that the fact that I literally only woke up like an hour ago and had breakfast. Um, so, you know, I I'm still like mildly waking up still. So, to be fair, maybe that's not an excuse, but I'm gonna use it as an excuse because, um, yeah, I'm a simpleton. I like simple things, and I stick to it. What am I even saying? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Are you tired of listening to me yet? I, I'm tired of listening to me. Um, but yeah, we are coming up on almost a half an hour. We're at 26 minutes. Well, 26 minutes and 35 seconds now. So I don't know. Let's try to get it to 30 minutes this episode, because I think the last episode was a shorter episode. Oh, that was another thing that I wanted to talk about. Um, Colombia. Goodness me. Are you guys all right over there? Um, yeah, so supposedly the president of Colombia um, keeps increasing the taxes on healthcare right now, and people are getting upset about that and are protesting. But the thing is the fact that um, police are there's just like an overabundance of police brutality going on in Colombia because of the protests, and like police are just fully allowed to use live rounds on these protesters who are like cut it with like quit it with the taxes. um yeah, I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to go into too specific details because I haven't read too much about it, but like, yeah, that's awful. Like, supposedly there's a bunch of deaths already from police brutality, um, which is just awful. I mean, like police are still people too, but like, goodness, that's bad news. And even in India, like if you check out the COVID cases and whatnot, like that's also awful. Like just how many, and there's so much unemployment right now going on, and like I, I don't, again, too, I don't want to talk too much about it. Like look into it yourself if you are interested what's going on there. But like overall, there's a lot of not good, a lot of bad stuff going on in the world right now. So it's, I mean, like, me a couple of episodes ago, complaining about the heat and, you know, being stuck in lockdown, it's not as bad as, people being shot and killed in the streets for, being like, okay, fuck off with the taxes. I'm already broke enough. And then, yeah, also like the poor people in India, you know, getting screwed over by all this COVID stuff, being too sick to work and then being penalized basically for not, working. Like, it's just, all of it. It's just awful. But it does really put things in perspective for myself, and hopefully for you who are hopefully are sitting at home comfortably listening to this, and can appreciate all of these things, that we do have, like in Canada. Yes, we do have, the idiots who are running everything and, doing a very poor job at it. But, at least, we have television, we have lots of entertainment, we have the internet at our disposal, we have books, we have many things. You can still order things online, you can still buy things, if you're a musician, you can still buy instruments, have it shipped to your house and everything like that. Like, it should, all of this should be really put into perspective, as in, yeah, it sucks not being able to go out to bars and, what else you go to, and seeing concerts and whatnot, but it could be a lot worse. It could be way worse. I'm still not gonna say that, like, the idiots who are in charge here in Canada right now are doing a good job. I really don't think so. I don't think they've ever done a good job. But then again, I don't really want to get too much into politics, because at the same time, if anybody who knows me, I don't give a shit about politics. I'm not on any side. I think they're all crooked bastards. But I really hope that people can at least look at this and take that information and be like, yeah, maybe, yes, this sucks, but yeah, maybe it's not as horrible as it could be. But you know, unfortunately, everybody, on this sour note, I think I will end the episode. So maybe, I'll leave you guys with something to think about. Maybe put a little bit of things into perspective, and hopefully you can get a little bit more appreciation out of the things you have, and be like, after this episode, stand up, look out the window, and take a deep breath of fresh air, and be like, yeah, yep, I'm still alive, still not, I'm still doing stuff. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to be too preachy. But anyways, everybody, thank you so much for watching, especially if you listened all the way through. And thank you for everybody who have checked out the music recommendations that I recommend every single week. I'm sure it means a lot to the musicians who I recommend, because I know if someone, recommends my music on their podcast or something like that, I would be absolutely floored to have someone do that for me, because it would mean a lot. So yeah, please go check out Trendkill's new song Obsession. They have a music video out on their channel if you are interested. I think it's just Trendkill UK, I think is what their YouTube channel is called. But go check that out. And if you are interested in learning more about that stuff, I don't have any links or whatever to what's going on in India or Colombia, but I'm sure you can just look it up, like cases in India, and, just look up Colombia, and I'm sure things will pop up. Just hopefully be nice to each other, everybody. Love each other. Make sure that everybody is okay. We're all human. We're all animals. We're all, not to sound like every Walmart ever, we're all in this together. I mean, we've been all in this together before COVID started, so really, we shouldn't have had to have a a pandemic happen for everybody to be nicer and to be more understanding with each other. We should have always just been more understanding and thoughtful of one another to begin with. And that's how I think life should be lived. Leave each other the fuck alone. And, if someone needs a hand, lend a hand. Anyways, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you all in episode 20.